In today's video, we're taking a look at my top 5 meta loadouts you guys need to be using. This is after a bunch of patch updates. I've revised a bunch of different stuff, so we have some banger loadouts for you guys to be able to enjoy. As always, if you do, give it a like, subscribe with notifications turned on, and let's hop into it. So our first gun we're taking a look at here is going to be the Ram 7. So our first attachment on here is going to be the VT7 Spirit Fire Suppressor. I've been calling it the Spitfire Suppressor, but it is the Spirit Fire Suppressor. We run this on a lot of our longer range guns, and this is going to give us that ability to be undetectable by the radar since you show up as a red dot on the minimap. Helps it with that recoil control, bullet velocity, and damage range. The Ram 7, as a quick note, is a perfect gun for like Resurgence, like Vondel, Ashika Island, stuff like that. This is a great gun, or even as a sniper sport since we're making use of the iron sights. So definitely try this exact build out. Next up for our attachments here in the barrel section, we're going for that XRK Cormac 40 heavy barrel. So this really helps us out with that gun kick control, aiming idle sway, recoil control, bullet velocity, and range. So this is definitely the best barrel in here. We have access to, of course, some of the other ones we are like this other one down here we don't have access to, but this is definitely the best one in here. So highly recommend you guys do that. Now we're gonna go on down here. We're gonna throw on the 60 round drum. Of course, with any of these guns in the game, you don't get as much of a movement penalty that you would previously in Warzone 2 and Warzone 3 because everything's just been much more sped up. Having a 60 round mag really doesn't feel like you have a 60 round mag in terms of how much it slows you down. So this is an all around great attachment. Now we're gonna go on back here and throw on the Retort 90 grip tape. So that firing, aiming, stability, gun kick control, and recoil control. I have seen some people switch this out for like an underbarrel like me, like the Bruin heavy support grip, which would be another banger option, but this is always just a really great thing right here. And I ran this exact build here and dropped so many kills with it. It's an absolutely wonderful build and gun. And then for our last attachment, we have the HVS 3.4 pad for gun kick control and recoil control. Like I said, we're making use of the iron sights on the Ram 7 since they're very easy to be able to use, and this is a great gun for overall resurgence capability. So we're gonna hop into the firing range here real fast and showcase this to you guys. So I mean, we're gonna take a look at close range here, very easy, medium range, and of course longer range. Bounce around a little bit longer range, but that's entirely okay because this is a great medium-ish to longish range build. You can also get away with it at short range. Definitely try this out. All right, so next up, we're gonna be taking a look here at the Striker SMG. This is another fantastic gun to be able to run. Highly recommend you guys try this out here. It's top tier meta along with the WSP Swarm. But our first attachment on here is going to be that sonic suppressor, basically just keeping us off the radar, increasing our bullet velocity and damage range. Overall, fantastic things for a suppressor. A lot of people go for the shadow strike, but we are trying to extend out the range here a little bit. Like I said, this is kind of like a revised build here as opposed to the original, so there's a few things that are a little bit different. For our barrel, we're actually going to throw on the Striker Elite long barrel. This is going to really help us out, that recoil control, aiming stability, gun kick control, bullet velocity, and range, extending out your capabilities from just outside that, very close range to a little bit farther out past that. So you're gonna be able to take people out that maybe would have a swarm farther than about 6 meters away, and to be able to take people out faster, which is really nice. And so definitely recommend that. Otherwise, it's basically a tie. Now we're gonna move on down here, go throw on the 48 round mag. You guys could definitely, if you really want to, throw on the 60 round drum. It's not gonna be like make or break. I mean, because you don't really get as much of a penalty in this game for a larger magazine, but the 48 has worked out beautifully for me. It's not a super high fire rate gun, so I don't really feel like a need to run like the 60 round drum, but you guys can definitely do that. Move on back here. We're gonna throw in the Socken ZX grip for that gun kick control, firing, aiming stability, and of course recoil control. Just helps stabilize the gun out a little bit, and you really don't have any sort of movement cons, just only aiming idle sway, which is not really something we're too worried about. And then lastly, we're gonna throw on the no stock attachment, basically making this thing super mobile, super agile, and it really helps out with your sprint to fire speed, ADS speed, all that great stuff. That's what makes this gun so effective, is because you can bring it up very fast, sometimes in comparison to the Swarm or other top tier SMGs, and you're gonna be able to really just move around and floss people. So this is a great build here, but let's hop into the firing range and showcase this. So close range, I mean, you can see it takes people out very easily, very quick. Medium range as well, and you're also gonna be able to hit a few shots at long range, though I wouldn't really recommend it. It's not really that great for long range, though it is still manageable enough at longer ranges, so try this out. All right, next up, we're taking a look here at the Bass B. They've tried to nerf this thing a little bit in terms of its damage profile, but it's still an absolute banger of a gun, so you guys should definitely be running it. So of course, we have the VT7 Spirit Fire Suppressor, keeping us off the radar, increasing our bullet velocity, recoil control, damage range, all that great stuff. This is a pretty standard suppressor here for our longer range build, so definitely run this. I have seen people actually not run a suppressor because obviously, you're gonna be on the radar when you don't run one. They go and throw on like some sort of compensator just to be able to help out with the recoil control. But honestly, you really don't need that. I don't find that to be necessary, so just run this. After that, we're gonna throw on the Bruin Venom long barrel, just extending out our overall range. It is a battle rifle, so we're trying to use this for, you know, longer ranges, though people have been running this literally as an SMG because the TTK is still so nuts, and you can't actually make it into an SMG build, but we're focused on the long range build here. So we got this. We're gonna go down, throw on the Bruin Heavy Support Grip, one of the top tier underbarrels here in this game right now. The Bruin Heavy Support, you can run this a variety of guns and it will just be great. So definitely should try this one out. Now we're gonna go down, throw on the 45 round mag. Of course, it is a 45, and that's the only option we got. If the 30, well, really the 45, but I don't really consider the 30 an option because you're running this exclusively as fully automatic, so there's no reason to run a 30. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, why would you want to do that? And then lastly, we have the Choreo Eagle Eye. So this is one of those attachments which you could switch out for something else. If you don't want to run the Choreo Eagle Eye, you could go down here a little bit farther, and I'm going to try and find out where exactly it's at. You can throw on like the SC Recharge. You can throw on an AMOP V4. I've actually really enjoyed running the SC Recharge a few times on my build. I don't really feel like I want the 2.5x, so it is entirely up to you guys, but I definitely recommend either way running one of those optics. And here's my full build. Now let's, of course, get into the firing range and showcase this op. So like I said, people can run this at close range because TTK is nuts. Of course, medium range and then long range. I mean, all the above. Super easy to be able to control. Just got to pull down the stick a little bit. Definitely try this out. Next up, we're taking a look at the WSB Swarm. This is another fantastic top tier meta SMG, probably the best one in the game right now, and this is a really cool build here for it. So first attachment is the WSP Optac long barrel. I kind of mispronounced that a little bit right there, but you guys get what I'm talking about. Recoil control and gun kit control, this is a great option. Really stabilize the gun out. Of course, you lose a little bit of that sprint to fire and ADS speed, but that's all right. Not too concerned with that. We're gonna go down here, throw on the Bruin Heavy Support Grip. This is really gonna stabilize the gun out. Like when I tell you guys this is like pretty much a laser beam with a 100 round mag, it genuinely is. So you're really gonna be deleting people. You're gonna have a lot of rounds to spare, which is fantastic. So definitely try this exact setup out. Of course, we're gonna go down here, like I mentioned, 100 round mag. We are running the 100 round mag, though. You can run this exact setup here with a 50 and be entirely okay. You will just have more of that benefit in terms of your overall mobility. Though I actually will say I have been really enjoying running that 100 round drum. It's kind of a little bit like OD, a little bit overkill, but it does feel really nice to be able to run, and you don't run out of ammo nearly as often. So it has helped me take out multiple people at a time, especially since the fire rate is so unbelievably fast on this gun. You can burn through that 50 round mag very quickly. So this actually is pretty useful. Now we're gonna go on back here and run the FSS Fortress Heavy Stock, just helping us out that gun kit control, recoil control, firing, aiming stability, and tack stand spread. Just stabilize the gun out, though you guys could probably get away with running something else if you really wanted to because it's so stable kind of anyways, but this just makes it even more so. And lastly, we're actually going to put a sight on this thing, and because we're not going to use the iron sights, and we're throwing on the MK3 reflector. So this is incredibly easy to be able to see out of. This is definitely probably like the #1 red dot sight in game. It's also a blue dot red dot sight, so that makes it even better. I prefer a blue dot over the red, and we don't have the option right now to customize a reticle. We did back in Warzone 1, but for whatever reason going forward into Warzone 2 and 3, we don't really have that option, so I'm not really too big of a fan of that, and I hope they kind of bring that back a little bit. That'd be really cool. So that's my full build right there. Let's of course hop into the firing range and showcase this. So close range, I mean, look at that. Super easy. I'm just pulling down on the stick a little bit, and I had 72 rounds to spare, so that's another full like squad that you could take out with this exact gun. So definitely try this thing out. Lastly, we're gonna be taking a look here at the Polmayot, or whatever you want to call it, basically the PKM LMG from Warzone 1. This thing is insane in this game, frankly. Right now, like, you guys need to use this thing. So first attachment, the VT7 Spiritfire. You guys know what this does. We're not really going to go into too much depth about it. I will say I'm going to go down here real quick though and just kind of give a preface. We are going to be running the Jack Annihilator Bullpup kit, so you guys need to have this unlocked via some weekly challenges. That's basically what makes this gun really good, or actually feel kind of more of like an assault rifle with a large magazine, is this Bullpup kit. So if you're not going to run this, you really aren't going to get the full potential out of this build, or anywhere close to. So definitely have to have that. We're gonna go up in here. We're actually gonna run the Jack Annihilator long barrel. So like I said, it has to be that Jack thing right there. So bullet velocity and range. We don't even care about the recoil control because this is basically gonna have 0 recoil. It's kind of nuts. And then we're gonna go throw on the Choreo Eagle Eye. This is one of those guns where you really do want the Choreo 2.5x as opposed to something like an SE Recharge or like an AMOP or any of these other sights. Definitely say that you should run this specifically because this is a great long range option. Like it's got so little recoil, bullet velocity is fantastic. You're gonna be able to take people out, and you have a 100 round mag, which is just more the merrier. So we absolutely love that. Now we're gonna go on back here for our final attachment. We're gonna throw on the Commando D15 recoil reduction pad, giving us that gun kick control, firing, aiming stability, and of course recoil control. So we're just stabilizing the gun out. This is really the only like recoil control based attachment we have on here. You will see in the firing range that it's actually kind of certified ridiculous how little this thing actually kicks. So this is my full build right here. Let's hop into the firing range and kind of break it all down here and show you. So this is, I mean, look at that. Basically nothing, and even at long range, I mean, the TTK is so fast, so ridiculous. I had 80 rounds to spare taking out those guys. But that's gonna be it. That's my full build. Hope you guys enjoyed this top 5. You guys did. Give it a like, subscribe with those notifications turned on. Check out this other video on screen. I'll see you guys all next time.